All right, all right. Hey guys, welcome back to the Underground and happy PSVR2 pre-order day to everybody out there. I am happy to announce that I have officially secured my PSVR2 bundle as well as a controller charger. Hope everyone's having a great day out there. Let me know if you got yours. Let me know what you got. We're going to talk about a bunch of stuff here today, actually. We're going to talk about the different options that were available. And for those who are still trying to secure one or don't know how to, you have to register with PlayStation. I've got links for every region down in the description. So check it out if you are interested and join in on the fun because next gen begins very soon. And I'm so excited. And so I've called this emergency interactive chat. And what's up, guys? What's up, Blue Jew, the Underground, Gabe Cat, LC2552 Beats, smoke them all up. Says, I got mine. Killer Tricks in the house tonight. Bambino Ramos, Jamie Slark. Good to see all of y'all, man. I'm so freaking excited. I just want to hang out with you guys, see how you guys are feeling, do a temperature check, see what the mood, the vibe is out there. And we'll talk about some of these games because there's actually a bunch of games that have been confirmed or for launch, as well as we've got some prices. So going to be discussing those as well and kind of break those down. But man, so let me break it down for you. I secured my PSVR 2 bundle and I decided to go for the standard bundle. There's two different ones available. There's the regular PSVR 2 bundle that comes with the headset and the controllers, some earphones, and then there's one that comes with the headset, a digital voucher for Horizon Call of the Mountain, and the special box art. I decided to go with just the standard one because I like the way that it looks, and I'll be picking up Horizon anyways. Now the advantage here is if you got the Horizon bundle, you save $10 because as we have found out, luckily it is not a $70 game, but it's still a full-priced $60 game, Horizon Call of the Mountain. And yeah, I want to know, how do you guys feel about that price point? Obviously, none of us have played it yet, so it's a little bit hard to judge. But what's your just knee-jerk reaction? What's your initial thoughts? I'm curious to know. Personally, for me, it's definitely a have to wait and see. I agree, Serial Killer, the game cat. It is going to be awesome. I think it's going to be an incredible experience, and it's probably going to be the first thing that I play on PSVR 2. It's just there's tons and tons of games that I'm excited about that we'll get into more. But I really feel like this is a good jumping off point with Horizon. Hello, Game Cat in the chat, you lovely human, all you lovely humans joining today. Thank you so much, man. Good to see y'all. Happy celebration day for the launch of the PlayStation VR 2. I am super freaking excited. I am seriously like almost shaking. I am so excited. But yeah, man. So Horizon Call of the Mountain. We'll take a look here. I've got my PS5 here. This is confirmed a launch title, and it's going to be $59.99, which is, that's kind of like the standard AAA game price for the PS4 generation. Obviously, a lot of the first party stuff jumped up $10 to $70. So to me, like I said, it's going to kind of depend on how much is in the game, how much content there is. There's reasons that I'm both excited and curious about this one because interestingly enough, this game, they've already come out and said that this game is going to be about 7 to 8 hours, but then have multiple paths, have lots of replay value. And it's hard to tell without playing it if that's just, sometimes people say that as like marketing stuff, like, oh, this is a feature, and sometimes it's overblown a little bit. But this is Firesprite, man. And Firesprite made The Persistence, which is another game I absolutely love, and hopefully a lot of you got to play on PSVR 1. But The Persistence was amazing, and even though it's like one of those cases where even though it could technically be beaten in 4 hours, it's the main campaign takes about 13 hours to beat. Took me about 12, 13 hours. And then, I mean, had really nailed the replayability and had about 40 hours. I got the platinum in that game. So I'm hoping, I think best case scenario, this is a similar situation where they say it's a 7 to 8 hour game, but then you get at least like, let's just at least hope for a minimum of 20 hours out of it, because I think that's that's fair for justifying the price tag of $60. It'll also be interesting to see if this is like, how with PSVR Gen 1, we had kind of like our own little price bracket for games. Like even AAA games on PSVR 1 were like $40 for the most part. So it'd be interesting to see if this is normal, that games moving forward, because they're next gen, are going to be $60 versus the $40 price tag, whether they're longer or shorter or whatever. It'll be interesting. Billy asks, has there been a release date officially announced? Yes, sir. The PlayStation VR2 comes out February 22nd of 2023. And boy, oh boy, am I going to be there, man. I've actually booked that entire week off in advance. And we're going to be pumping out live streams, all sorts of different content. Of course, I'll be doing stuff with Brian over on Without Parole as well. I'm sure we're going to be just going crazy and with excitement, and I can't wait. So Snacks Impulse has got my pre-order and the Vikings one, so I'm a happy guy. Very nice, man. So Robert Sullivan, so some of you still, it looks like, have not gotten the email yet. It looks like a lot more people have definitely gotten the email than what began with, because at the beginning it was like a good 20% of people had gotten the email, and most people were left out. But here's the thing, guys. I promise you, just hang in there. There will be more emails going out. There will be more of the PlayStation Direct queues that you can jump into and wait in the queue, similar to like a PS5. Obviously not, but it's not going to be nearly as difficult as a PS5, I don't think. And then, of course, retailers are starting to go live. I've got the links to register in the description. Check those out. Make sure you register if you haven't. Also, keep an eye on the Twitters. You can either follow me, but even better, people like Wario64 are really good about that. And I highly recommend following Wario64, Cheap Ass Gamer, because it's like they just sit there and just tweet about this stuff right as it goes live. All right. Arion with the 35 Zarkonians says, can you go through the PSVR 2 games that are discounted with PS Plus until launch day? Would love to know which of them you'd recommend. Yeah, I'd be very, very happy to go through them. We're going to go through actually all of the games that are listed on the store there. So yeah, we're gonna check them all out. Here, I'll get the thank you for the donation, by the way. Really appreciate you. It's gonna help make up some of that that I just spent. My God, I will say, PlayStation VR 2 it's expensive. I mean, the whole bundle, I think for the regular bundle and the charging station for the controllers cost me about somewhere around $650. But it's something that I really believe in. It's something I really want to support. I always have since the first PlayStation VR. And the difference here is that this is not something that's going to be outdated instantly. This is something that's when PlayStation releases a console, peripheral, something like that, you get to use it for about 5-6 years out of it. So you get your money's worth out of it. I mean, PSVR stopped having releases this year. Mark Dowse, congratulations, man. Congrats to everybody who did get their pre-orders secured. Congrats, man. It is a time to celebrate. I hope you're excited as I am. Yes, huge day. Yeah, taxes were about $40 or something as well, but I went ahead and got it secured, and I'm happy with it. The harder part is the hard part's not necessarily getting the bundle or choosing the bundle. The hard part is now, like, moving forward is going to be what games do we want to pick? What games do we want to play? So let's take a look back over here at some of the games. We already covered Horizon Call of the Mountain. I mean, that is easily a great launch title to jump in with, and I'm sure it's going to be super high quality. The only thing we don't really know about this game is about the length, but like I said, I will give Fire Sprite the benefit of the doubt, because they have proven to make some really great stuff. They didn't just make the Persistence. They also made like Playroom VR and other things as well. So they're pretty experienced, and they're pretty good with their content to feel satisfying. All right. So somebody was asking about some of these discounted games. We'll kind of go back and forth here. We'll start with Demeo, because I've actually played Demeo, and I plan on streaming this game at some point. And for those who are on the Patreon support for $1 or more a month, I've been doing a write-up of different reviews, and this is actually going to be my next one, as well as a bunch of other games. Shout out to the Patreons. But yeah, this one is very interesting. It's $39.99. I want to say it's the same price on the Quest 2. But this game I actually really, really enjoyed. I still enjoy, and it's known as kind of like, I know it's not really the thing that most people get super excited about when it comes to VR, because it's a real-time strategy game. It's turn-based combat, stuff like that. But I actually enjoy the living hell out of this game. And the one thing that I think most people, if there was one thing I think is a little misleading, is a lot of people make it seem like you have to play this game multiplayer. Well, as many of you know, I'm not really the biggest multiplayer kind of guy. Like, I like multiplayer games, but that's not usually my first go-to. I'm not like antisocial either, obviously, but I'm just usually more of I like to just chill, and I am very introverted and like to just chill and be by myself and play games sometimes. But the one thing I think that was the biggest surprise for this game was that this game is awesome in single player. I mean, it is fully playable in single player, and rather than having a team of 4 players, you basically control, you get to control 4 different players in the turn-based combat. And it's got this cool, if any of you played Table of Tales, it's a little similar to Table of Tales. I love Table of Tales, but this is personally much better. But yeah, you have these cards that you collect, and you kind of drop these cards on the players and stuff. And then it does like an attack, and it's a really good strategy game. There's like 4 or 5 different areas, and each area has like 3 different floors to conquer. And each floor can take like up to an hour or so to beat. I mean, if you really explore everything they have, like all the chests, find all that stuff, then there's a good bit to find there. But this game is really, really fun. I love the discount with it, because even though it's a fantastic game, I don't know if I feel like it's a $40 game. So this one is a huge recommend from me for sure, easily, especially with the discount price. And I think $30 is kind of around the highest I'd want to pay for it. Not that it's not worth like 40 or anything, but it's just for what it is, you know. But let's see. Mark, yes, we did get our headsets. None of us had issues. Both Brian and I got our headsets. We were actually supposed to be doing this together, but he fell asleep, so it's all good. So we brought things over here. But anyways, so another one of these games. These are kind of interesting ones. I mean, these are kind of the more what I consider smaller titles that are coming. There's Cities VR, which is by Fast Travel Games. It's $29.99 with a little bit of a tiny little discount, $26.99. I mean, when I look at this is not exactly what I think about when I think of a PSVR2 game. I know it has some enhancements and stuff, and this isn't typically not my style of game to begin with. But when I look at it, I think the thing that the most fun I feel like I could have personally for this being something completely out of my my usual realm is that I think it could be cool to build up the cities and then like zoom in and then kind of just sit there, kind of like be like immersed in the world from like a God perspective, and kind of like if the world and everything does feel like it's alive, it could be a fun, immersive, and relaxing time, but typically not my really style of game. I'm looking forward to checking it out, but I don't know. For me, obviously I'll be grabbing everything because we're gonna have to review everything. But this is not one that I'm personally like super excited about. In fact, I'd probably say that the majority of these ones, Demio aside, because I love Demio, but the majority of these I'm gonna have to play to really before I can give you like a recommendation or not, because I have no clue if I'm gonna like it or not, to be honest with you. I can see the appeal, and I can also see the not appeal. Let's see, am I missing anything? MJ Carpenter says, I've never played Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, so I'm looking forward to playing it day one. I'm in a minority of late comers. So I have played Star Wars Tales from the Galaxy's Edge. This does not have a discount, unfortunately, and this is going to be an enhanced edition that comes. I could not give you a full review of this game yet, because I'm only, I think, just a few hours in, like maybe like 2 hours in or so. And I'll be honest with you, I haven't been like super excited to go back to it. I consider myself a Star Wars fan for the most part. Maybe not the biggest Star Wars fan ever, but I've typically liked a lot of the movies, a lot of the games, and for me, going into this game at first, I was actually really, really impressed. It's really impressive at first. If you're a Star Wars fan, you'll immediately love being kind of entered into this world and being, you're like, damn, I'm in Star Wars universe, and it's pretty cool. And then there's some gadgets to mess with and stuff. I guess there's no trailer here for this. There's like some gadgetry and different things, different tools you can use that are cool. The guns have a cool, a kind of a cool method to using them, where they have like a cooldown system where they overheat, and then you have to pull on a little lever on them to cool them off or like release the heat and stuff. And, I got to give this game more of a chance. I feel like it's really impressive at first, and then once it got to the game, I was like, oh, this is actually more of a game than an experience. But then it kind of is just going into rooms and shooting enemies, and I don't know. It's okay. I'll have to get back to you on this one, but $50, it's a little bit more than I'd probably like to pay. I really don't think it was $50 on Quest. So there's a little bit of a price hike here. But this will undoubtedly look a lot better. And if they really enhance the backgrounds and a lot of stuff, it could be pretty sweet. I will say, this darts game that's in the beginning here, that little dartboard that you see on the back left corner, that dart game is fun as shit. I would have made so much more progress in this game if it wasn't for that damn dart game. Because I sat there, and you kind of like, when you release the darts, they shoot straight forward with like a little rocket thing. And I sat there and played that dart game for a long time, and I lost a lot of time that I was supposed to be making progress through the game to this darts game. So that's one cool little gimmick they got in there that's actually really, really fun. One of the better darts games I've played. So this one is now really interesting as well. This is The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners Chapter 2 Retribution. This is, of course, the sequel to one of the best PSVR games ever made. One of the best VR games, period. And I'm super, super excited about this one because the first one was so incredibly good. It really is one of the best VR games ever made. And, when it comes down to it, this was one of the few games that had tons of content. Oops, I played the wrong trailer. This is one of the few games that not only just had enough content, was priced pretty well at $40. And what do we got here? What is it at again? It's at $40 once again for the sequel. But let's see, where is my chat box, and why is the chat box not here? Oh, because maybe it's under something. Let's see, where y'all at? I want to see your pretty faces. Hold on, let me fix this real quick. But yeah, let me fix the chat box. Let's see here. Why is it not integrating? Integrate chat box. Okay, 2 more seconds. Let me fix this real quick. Justin Lapine, thank you so much for the subscribing, man. Welcome aboard. Welcome to the PSVR2 hype train, baby. We going. Did you get your PSVR2? Let me know. Pre-ordered Pietrek F. While I'm fixing this, I'm going to answer some questions real quick, or read some of your comments and try to multitask here, which I'm already doing a bad job at. Let's see here. Stream chat. Well, that's weird. I wanted to see your names on the screen. So where are they? Interesting. Okay, 2 more seconds. Let me see if I can fix this. Boxed. Chat delay. Show messages. No chat delay. How do I fix the width of this? Anyways, well, the chat might be down for now, guys. That must be a Streamlabs thing. Sorry about that. But anyways, let's just get back to business then. So there's something interesting about The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners Chapter 2 Retribution, longest name ever. And that is, of course, so this is going to be the PSVR 2 game. Doesn't look like it's going to be a PSVR 1 game anymore, even though it seemed like it was going to be that originally. But, you know, again, Skydance have proven themselves to be, they're a veteran studio made up of a lot of people that have worked on a lot of video games dating back for a long time. So they have a lot of experience, and as we saw with Saints and Sinners, what I was trying to say before I saw the chat thing is that even though you know, they're a smaller team, they hadn't proven themselves yet in terms of the VR space. Walking Dead Saints and Sinners was like revolutionary in terms of its immersive mechanics, the way you interact with everything, how they made everything very diegetic, where it's like something that makes sense in the context of the world that you're playing in, that made it, that blended it well. So instead of like mostly menus and stuff popping up, menus to switch through, they had your backpack, you're grabbing your flashlight, your weapons from your back, your chest, your sides, all that stuff. And then, of course, the physics. I mean, the physics-based combat in this game is absolutely amazing. All the weapons felt amazing. And yeah, this is one that is going to be an absolute must-have, I think. They've got the new chainsaw, as you can see. And that chainsaw has dynamic slicing, so really, really excited about that one. And there was something else that was interesting that popped up, and that was on the Australian store this morning. Excuse me one sec. On the Australian store this morning, they had a deluxe edition, a Walking Dead Saints and Sinners deluxe edition that included both chapters 1 and 2, and it was only $62 from what I saw there. So a really, really good price range for that, to get both games. For people that haven't played The Walking Dead Chapter 1, they're going to be in for a real treat. I mean, imagine getting to play this for the first time on PSVR 2, and just with the headset feedback and haptics, adaptive triggers, all that stuff. It's going to be freaking amazing, man. But yeah, so that's going to be a must-have title. Can't wait for this one. I probably will end up playing a little bit, if not all of it, on the Quest 2 first, to give you some thoughts on it and be able to review it. but I will absolutely be playing through it again on PSVR2, no doubt, because that's with all the features that I want to play it with. Zombie 5150, my dude, says, what does dynamic slicing do? Dynamic slicing means that you can swing the chainsaw around like the madman you probably are, Zombie, and it will cut where you slice them. That's one of the things they got right in the first game, was that, like, you know, the just the precise kind of like hit detection on the AI. And with the chainsaw, yeah, you'll be able to slice through them from any angle, and it will cut them accordingly. So it's pretty cool. A dynamic slice penetrates the beanie. What up, Bremen 1973 says, sup AJ, I woke early to pre-order the PSVR 2 and The Walking Dead Chapter 2. Hell yeah, buddy. Plus I downloaded the PSVR 2 updates for No Man's Sky. Hells yeah. Yeah, actually, you bring up a good point. Is there's a couple games that are actually not listed here that we know are actually going to be on the thing. But Walking Dead Retribution, really looking forward to that one. Now we'll go back to one of these discount ones, so we'll keep it balanced. Another launch title here, Cosmonius High, and this is by Alchemy Labs, the people that made Job Simulator, Vacation Simulator, stuff like that. And to me, this looks interesting, I suppose. I like how colorful it is. You know, Job Simulator, I don't think it's necessarily like the greatest game or anything. What I think it does really, really well is being a wonderful introduction to VR for many people. For people that haven't played VR, don't have their VR legs, these games typically do pretty well for that situation. You know, so I'm expecting this game to be kind of, I don't know, it's obviously like a high school setting in space. I will say I did see some things from the trailer that I thought, looked kind of cool, some visually kind of trippy looking stuff, and there might be lots of stuff to tinker with. You know, this is not my type of game. Another one, I'm picky, I know, but neither was Job Simulator, and I really, really enjoyed it. And I liked a lot about Vacation Simulator as well. This game looks like Emily Baxter's Nightmares, as Glacius streams. Oh man, she got colorful words for it. I'll be honest though. I mean, it's going to be $30, but if you pre-order it, $23.99. If you want something for your kids to play, or, you know, something that's really, really family friendly, yeah, it may not be for a lot of us, but, you know, there might be a certain crowd that's into it. I don't know how popular this game's going to be. I don't really honestly expect it to be super popular, but we'll find out. I know a lot of us, myself included, we're really looking for some next gen titles, stuff that feels next gen, stuff that looks next gen, stuff that has next gen content in it. And that one doesn't, while it seems okay, it doesn't strike me as one of those. Next, we've got the Light Brigade, which is going to be $24.99. And then with PlayStation Plus pre-order, $21.24. Now, interestingly enough, this is one of the games that's also confirmed for PSVR 1, and will have a free upgrade. So going by the way this game looks and everything, it does look a little bit more like a PSVR 1 game. And, you know, that's not necessarily a bad thing. It doesn't look next gen. It's got some, it's kind of like a roguelike shooter. And yeah, we don't really know like a whole bunch on it other than what we've seen from the trailer, but it looks like it's got some action. It's got really simple graphics. It's got that, it's a little on the cartoony side. Sorry, Emily, but this is one that I don't want to judge too early. I feel like this is, my fear is that this is kind of like a lesser in death kind of game. Yeah, like Mark Dow says, it's too simple. It could be too simple. Yeah, I don't want to judge too soon, but I mean, you know, it's pretty straightforward what it looks like, and it definitely doesn't look like a super next gen title, but who knows? I mean, with something like In Death already out there, it's just stuff has been done before. I do like some of the art style. I mean, these like little killer rats and stuff going on. This could be pretty fun, actually. If the gameplay is really good, this is going to be just fine. And if the gameplay is really good, it should be a lot of fun and pretty cool. Online play optional. I wonder if that's probably just leaderboards. If it's a roguelike, because it's one player. Now they do have. You'll notice some of these games have this VR play styles now showing, because that's a new thing now that it's inside out tracking. A lot of these games can have 3 different play styles, it seems like, and it'll list what they say. It'll list what they are. There's sitting, standing, and room scale. I've never really been the biggest fan of like room scale stuff, because I'm always afraid of running into my wall, running into my TV, running into just anything that's in the area. I mean, most people don't have the space to be able to do that. So I'm totally fine with using joysticks to move, and if anything, baby steps for me. Maybe start with physically turning first and get more comfortable with moving around without being able to see where I am, and then I'll get more used to that. All right. This one is actually kind of interesting a little bit. This is Tentacular, which the price drop just happened right now. What up, Frost the Behemoth Cat? We're going to get into some upcoming games as well. So this isn't just about launch games. We're starting with the launch games. But Tentacular is a game that's, I think, already been out, and I've heard pretty good things. This is another one where it's like not really for me, but if it's good, I'll enjoy it. Again, definitely far from next gen looking. I mean, this looks old. This looks very, very old already. I mean, I know it's trying to, trying to have a great art style and everything. It's cutesy. It's whatever. It's not really my thing, man. Not every game has to be like a realistic gore fest, but at the same time, it's like this low poly, kind of style. It looks like Wii. Like, it looks like the Nintendo Wii characters, and I'm just not into that, man. That being said, I have heard some good things about this game. It could be secretly actually kind of okay. Could be kind of fun. I see some appeal to it, but yeah, not really my thing. This one is, how much is it? $22.49, $24.99. So it's not super expensive, but it looks more like a $10 to $15 game to me when looking at it on the surface. And then the last one with the discount is Hello Neighbor Search and Rescue. And now this is based off of a game that I have no idea existed, but a lot of people apparently know about the Hello Neighbor series. A couple game cats like Jay have told me that it's actually surprisingly scary. And this is another one where I'm like looking at the art style, and I'm like I'm just not into this art style. But I do see elements of the gameplay here, the stealth, kind of sneaking around, trying not to get trapped. That could be pretty fun. I do see some promising things here in terms of quality, polish, a couple other things. And Jay said that this game is really, really scary. He said it's actually really scary. So he said kind of looks can be deceiving. And I'll give this one a fair shake. Again, not crazy, not my type of art style, really. That looks like a Disney Pixar movie thing. I'm not a Disney Pixar movie kind of person either. But I did see some mechanics in here that could be fun. If it's got a little bit of fun and adventure, if it's got some scary stuff to it, this one could actually be a little bit better than what it looks like on the surface, at least in terms of what we're expecting in terms of console quality games. Is usually like, we have that's the thing. We have a really high bar set for the type of games and experiences we want. So no longer will just a simple concept in VR really be enough. Sometimes it works, but you know, we're some game ass gamers, so we like real games, and yeah, this one could be pretty promising. Of the kind of cheaper, lesser titles on this row, I'd probably say Hello Neighbor's probably the one I'd look forward to the most, or Light Brigade. Cities VR could be surprising too, but which, by the way, the other Cities game, End Dreams, they've announced that their Cities game, Little Cities, is coming to new platforms. So I think it's safe to say that Little Cities will also be coming. I don't know what the difference between Cities VR and Little Cities is, but all right. So there's no price tag on this one, unfortunately. But let me just tell you guys, Switchback VR, baby. This is definitely one of my most anticipated launch games. You know, I'm most excited about Horizon Call of the Mountain, Resident Evil Village. Well, I'm expecting Resident Evil Village. If it doesn't happen at launch, then so be it. But it would be pretty disappointing if it wasn't. But I think Resident Evil Village will be a launch title. But this one, man, this game means so much to me. For those who, you know, how many people grew up playing House of the Dead or were at the arcade and played Carnival? This game, I really don't think is getting enough love, as much love as it deserves right now. Because man, it is, again, it's not only the best roller coaster game. Well, it's a spiritual successor to Until Dawn: Rush of Blood, which was one of the best roller coaster games, and then also an amazing shooter and an amazing horror game. It's just such a fun, exciting, and thrilling time, and really, really great stuff. And yeah, this is easily one of my most anticipated games. There's no price on it just yet. I thought that we'd get a price for it today. We know it's a launch title. I don't know why they haven't listed the price yet. I don't really know where to go with this price. The original Rush of Blood was $20. It was really cheap. But this one, Serial Killer thinks that $40 to $50. Yeah, I could see maybe $40 or something. Like, this is the thing, is I thought everything, I'm starting to learn to kind of, whatever I think the price is going to be, add more to it, because nothing is as cheap as I want it to be just yet. Obviously, the great thing about the PlayStation ecosystem is that the games go on sale after a short amount of time, and that makes it a lot better. But you know, if a game is good enough, then I don't really care. But yeah, so this game is going to be sweet. It's going to be it's set in the Dark Pictures anthology series. You're going to be fighting vampires, witches. There's vampires, witches, zombies, ghosts, monsters. They've already talked about, like, you know, it's going to have the headset haptics and stuff. And then you're going to be dodging obstacles along the way. And probably one of the most next-gen things that it kind of shows in this is they say at one point, don't blink, and they actually show the eyes blinking, and then the enemies getting closer to you as they blink. I think it's coming up right here. Hear every scream with the audio stuff. But here, let's see. There we go. Don't blink. And it goes blink, blink, blink. And then you just see them getting closer. That is pretty sweet. In the first game, the room just kind of got dark, and every time it came back on, they were getting closer and stuff. But Switchback VR, easily one of my most anticipated games, without a shadow of a doubt. That's going to be amazing. Let me get a drink real quick. What's going on in the chat? What do we got? What do we got going down here? Let's see here. What are you guys talking about? Early day game cat party. Yes, sir. What up, Endeavor One in the house tonight? Good to see you guys, man. Thanks for joining. Thank you all for joining, man. Saving Private Higdon says, I'm too scared to try Switchback VR. Well, let me tell you, man. I don't know how scary it's going to be just yet, but I think a lot of people were too scared to play Until Dawn Rush of Blood, and when they did play it, they were like, holy shit, like this is actually just really fun. And that's kind of what I'm expecting with that. Yeah, there might be some scares here and there, but they give you guns and you're shooting down these gross looking monsters and stuff. And it's more of a, yes, it's got a little bit of scariness to it, but it's more fun and exciting than it is. It's not like Resident Evil 7. There is nothing like Resident Evil 7 when it comes to being like just actually terrifying and like fills you. I was going to say fills you with dread, and then I remember Dread Halls. I think, Rush of Blood and Switchback should be pretty accessible to a lot of people. Yeah, it was Aceville. You got it right. He says Rush of Blood was scary, not crazy, but scary enough. And I agree. It's a scary game, but it's not too scary. It's meant to have a good time and to be exciting more so than it is to make you afraid to play it. Luigi says Dread Halls could be so epic in PSVR 2. I'm really, for lack of a better word, dreading if Dread Halls, Cosmo Dread actually comes to PSVR 2. I don't know if I'm ready for that, y'all. Dread Halls has like been the bane of my existence forever. I mean, I love it. I think it's a great game, but I really am that scared when I play it. Like I'm very terrified every single time I've had to play it. And so if Cosmo Dread comes, I'm excited, but I'm also not looking forward to it. Because Saturday Night live streams will be making a return with PSVR 2 every Saturday. And I don't want that to get picked every time. Honestly, just being honest here. All right. So give me 2 seconds to get a couple more sources in here. I should have added a couple things, but what are you guys talking about? So what else do we got here real quick? We've got this Jurassic World Aftermath game. This has no price yet. This is supposed to be, what does it say? This is supposed to be a launch title. It is rumored to be a launch title. It doesn't have an official date though, but so we'll have to wait and see if this is actually going to be one. I'm curious about this one. I don't know much about the Quest version. This is probably another one I'll pick up on the Quest first, just to check it out because I don't really think there's going to be a huge difference. So it'll be interesting to see if that's it. Give me 1 second real quick, guys. Just 2 seconds. Let's see. Media file. Let me add in something here. Talks amongst yourselves for 1 second. Let's give my vocal cords a quick break. Let's see here. Gameplay, trailers, PSVR 2. There we go. Volume warning. Okay, there we go. I got it. So one of the games that's popped up on the store as well is this one, Crossfire Sierra Squad. And the more I've read about this game, the more interesting it seems to me. This is going to be very, very interesting. Let's see, get right there. There we go. Okay. Crossfire Sierra Squad is a single player or a 4-player co-op shooter, first person shooter, which is really a genre that we needed a lot more of. Like first person shooters are obviously, I think they have a wide appeal because they're very intuitive in their design. Like it makes sense to just point and shoot stuff in a game, and it's not something that's really that difficult to figure out how to do. But the more I've read about this one, the more interested I've been. It's based off of a huge IP over on the East. The series has had over 1 billion players in its lifetime, and it's super popular. I think there was one attempt to bring it over to the West, and it was called like Crossfire X, and I heard that it was it failed miserably. Apparently, it was terrible. It got like 2 out of 10s or something. Um, but this looks like a really, really fun time. It looks like a great shooter. I love the art style of it. I like the dude with his mask or whatever he's got going on there. Yeah, I've loved co-op shooters like single player campaigns or co-op shooters. Like it kind of reminds me of like Resistance, where you could play Resistance campaign co-op. Resistance 2, I think. No, Resistance Fallen Man, I think was 2 player as well. Oh, Darth got his PSVR2. Woo woo, let's go, man. But this game looks absolutely fun. I'm a little reserved about it because I just don't know whether or not, like, going by everything in the footage, it looks fantastic. It looks really fun. They've said there's only over 60 levels, that there's 39 weapons to choose from, including sniper rifles, shotguns, machine guns, all sorts of stuff. You see a little thermal scope right there, dude grabbing a grenade and throwing it back. So looks pretty fun and action packed. It kind of reminds me of it almost, to me, in its looks a little bit like Blood and Truth, but with full locomotion. So that's pretty cool. This looks pretty fantastic, actually, and I love that there's just this over the top action element to it. You see helicopters, you see explosions, you see all that stuff. That's stuff we haven't really gotten to experience a ton of in VR yet. So this is I definitely want more stuff like this, at least until I feel like I've had my fill. But this one is, even though you can't pre-order it yet, there's no price. This one is actually already on the store here. It doesn't have a release date yet. It just says coming soon. This is expected to be a 2023 game, and should be pretty cool, man. It will, let's see, online play optional. Is it going to say anything about having, well, we haven't seen anything say like mandatory PlayStation Plus yet. Let's see, VR games cause PlayStation VR 2. So it is PSVR 2 is required. Yeah, I don't see anything about having to have PlayStation Plus, but you'd have to, I kind of just assume at this point that most games require PlayStation Plus to be able to play them, but this looks so fantastic. I'm super excited about this one. It seems like most of you guys are pretty excited about this one as well, and I have to agree with you. What else we got here? Was that it? Was that all of them? Did we cover all of them? Yeah, I think we went through. Wow, we blasted through each and every one of these. Like I said, some of these I've got written reviews from the Quest version on my Patreon, and then others I'll be streaming on the channel as well. Either way, I'll have you covered as to my thoughts and what to think about it. Ooh, this one, these have the timers now with the pre-orders going. So these are all available now, either PS5, PS app, or the website. You can get these from anywhere. Oh, I'm so excited for Horizon. And obviously this is not the full launch either. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 games. So we know that there's No Man's Sky coming. No Man's Sky has actually been confirmed as a actually I can go all the way out here, and if we actually just go to No Man's Sky, which is on my homepage, they actually have the incoming free PSVR 2 update with the description saying the power of the PlayStation 5 coupled with all new PlayStation VR 2 hardware, including the new Sense controllers, combined together to take the sense of immersion and believability up to another level, free to existing players, coming February 2023. So No Man's Sky is confirmed as the launch title. It's going to look freaking amazing on PSVR 2 because even with the PSVR 1 and the PS5 patch, it looks amazing. But it is going to be next level on PSVR 2. It's going to look absolutely stunning, and it'll be interesting to see what kind of updates come with the game as well when they actually do that. I'm pretty excited about this one. Oh, sandworms, man. The sandworms are so cool. That's like one of my. There's so many things I have planned to do once this comes to to PSVR2. Definitely one of my most anticipated. And yeah, if you own No Man's Sky, you've already got a PlayStation VR2 game good to go. That's the nice thing about some of these upgrades. Obviously backwards compatibility is something a lot of people wanted. The only thing I think that could be better than backwards compatibility is just remasters and games that are rebuilt with the Sense controllers, use the 4K screen or 4K upscaled. AJ will need wellness check-ins for No Man's Sky. You're goddamn right, Endeavor One. I can freaking live in this game. I've always loved this game for the exploration and everything, but once I got into the base building, oh my god, like you can sink so much time into it, and it's so good. So that's not all, man. There's definitely some more games coming here. Let me see if I can throw up a window here. Do we have one of the other games I'm super excited about? Now this is confirmed for 2023, and this is End Dreams Ghostbusters VR, which is now called Ghostbusters Rise of the Ghost Lord. Funny little name there, but I love the Ghostbusters franchise. I love the idea of using a proton pack in VR, and yeah, I'm pretty excited to check this one out. Obviously made by End Dreams, is a good sign because they make really good games and really polished games and experiences. They know what they're doing over there, so pretty good stuff. Let's see. There's another game as well that's announced for 2023. I think the only trailer I have is the Quest reveal teaser. Let's see here. Window capture. Let me throw this up here. Sorry, I thought I had a little bit more of this planned, prepared for this. A sandworm emoji. Yes, I need a sandworm emoji. Let's see here. Browser source, display capture, window capture. Here we go. Add source. Okay. All right, here we go. Let me bring this up here. So this is Skydance Interactive's other game, which is Behemoth. Now, we don't have tons of info on this game, but the info we have been given is pretty damn promising. Is that working? Oh, let's see here. Late 2023 is what this game is supposed to be coming. Let me go ahead and just full screen it here. Hopefully that's working. But this is Skydance other game, and we don't know a whole lot about it other than it is supposed to be kind of like a Monster Hunter style game. I mean, we don't know the specifics of what that means. That could mean a lot of things. But they said Behemoth is coming late 2023, and it is like a Monster Hunter style adventure where you track down different demons. Let me go exactly what. Let me see exactly what they said here on the original announcement. Here's my Twitters. Skydance Interactive have announced Behemoth. It's a monster hunting VR adventure set in the Dark Ages, coming late 2023. So that's, even though we don't have a lot of info on that, I'm still pretty excited about that one because it's Skydance and the setting itself looks amazing. So I'm pretty excited to check that one out as well. I'm trying to think of what other games. Obviously, we still have yet to get like official confirmation that Resident Evil Village is going to be a launch title, but I fully expect it to be. I think it's going to end up being a launch title, and if not, really close to launch. And because this is one of the first games they demoed And it just seems like it's really far along. And going by the Capcom website, they actually have said that the PS5 version will be available, or the PS5 version will be PSVR2 compatible. So I also think not only is it coming as a launch title, I actually also think, similar to Resident Evil 7, it'll be a free PSVR upgrade. And so, what I have done is I've gone out and I've bought the physical version. Oh, it's upside down. I went ahead and bought the physical version. It's not even opened yet because I'm waiting. I'm waiting for a PSVR 2 patch, but I will have it ready to go. This is easily my most anticipated game by far. This is, to me, this game is kind of epitomizes like everything I want from PlayStation VR 2, which is full length AAA console quality games that are playable on PlayStation VR 2 and that are built from the ground up for PlayStation VR 2. This is what I want. This is what I want, and this is what I think is what's going to make PSVR 2 successful. The more of these we get, I think the more popular PSVR 2 will become, and the more people will be wanting to go out and get a headset. Stuff like this. This is the key to PSVR 2's success, and the extent of what we're going to see stuff like this, we don't know yet, but it definitely seems pretty promising, especially with some of the info that we've gotten from like PSVR Without Parole and other sources. We have plenty of good reason to believe that this is in more stuff like this is in Sony's playbook for this next generation. You got it for $20, but yeah, man, that to me is what VR needs, man. Mark Dow says, AJ, do you know how awesome it feels to be a part of this conversation? Which one? The celebrating the PSVR 2 pre-orders? Woo! Man, I'm so excited. There's still a couple more like first party hybrids that I'm waiting for. I honestly thought we would have. I was certain that Gran Turismo 7 was going to be a launch title. Now I'm not so sure. Maybe you have to wait a little bit longer, but we know they're working on it. So it's really just a matter of when, not if, unless something just goes horribly wrong with that. But with Gran Turismo 7's success, I mean, to me, that to me was just such a no-brainer system seller or headset seller, I would say. Stuff like that. Bobby Bananas says, it finally feels real. It is real, man. It is real. We have secured our PSVR 2s. Most of us have. A lot of people still, you guys, like I said, if you haven't gotten your PSVR 2 yet, don't worry. You will get one. Just give it time. It's not going to be as hard to get as the PS5 was. And if you haven't registered, I've got links for every single region down in the description. So go make sure you're registered. Wait for that email. And again, follow like Twitter and all that other stuff for some opportunities to do so. But man, yeah, I think what I'm mostly looking forward to. Okay, now that we've kind of run through, is there anything else we're missing? Any games we're missing from 2023? Obviously, there's a lot more to be announced. I know of a couple that haven't been announced that are probably not going to be announced for a while. But I do think when it comes to a lot of these AAA hybrids or whatever, I think they're in the works. Maybe it's a little bit too early. Maybe we expected a lot more at launch than what actually was ready. But I do expect them to come eventually. But right now, the biggest hybrids I can see are definitely No Man's Sky and Resident Evil Village. Hoping to get Gran Turismo, Grand Theft Auto. Those would be pretty great. And everyone, I did talk about Demio, and dude, we need to hook up and play some Demio. Actually, I'll probably grab like you, Tiffany, and somebody else, and we need to stream it on the channel and show these people some gameplay of it. Probably not the most fun game to watch on a stream, to be honest, but it's really fun to play. And if we're just doing dumb shit, then it'll be a fun stream. Among Us. Among Us was announced. Brian and I talked about it briefly on Gamescast last night. Among Us is pretty fun. It's only $10, so it's like it's pretty easy sell for $10, especially if you got like a group of people to play with. It's kind of like Five Nights at Freddy's, where it like I don't know nothing about it. I really don't care about it, but then I play it in VR, and I'm like, oh okay, I like this. um, Mark Dow says, so AJ, do you think Sony's going to sell out of day one pre-orders? No, I don't think so. They pushed the date back to February because they wanted to produce more headsets. They wanted to have 2 million available around launch. And then coupled with the price, I don't at this time, I don't see them selling out that fast. Now, if the price point of the PSVR was like $300-$400, probably, but just being in the 550 range, even if it's, even if that is the price tag is justified, that still puts it out of reach for a lot of people. So but give it time. Maybe hopefully eventually the price will drop a little bit. More people can get it. More people will be willing. At 550, it's just not as much of an impulse buy. But I don't think they're focusing. They're obviously not focusing on impulse buyers here. They're focused on the dedicated VR community. They're focusing on me. They're focused on you and the rest of our community. And that's who they're focusing on. And, they could have, if they wanted to release a headset to everybody, they could have released a 4K OLED headset that didn't have like haptics adaptive triggers, that didn't have the infrared eye tracking, that didn't have headset rumble, that didn't have all these things. And they could have gone with a cheaper option. The funny thing is, I still think there's room for stuff like that. Like, I think there's room for I don't know. It's just, there'd be too much divide between the headsets and too many headsets you'd have to develop for. But I'm actually glad with the decision they made to. I'm actually very happy with the decision they made to. Hey, let's put some next gen stuff on this. Let's make it really nice, and then charge a little bit more for it. I'm okay with that for the most part. It's expensive as hell, not gonna lie, but it also feels like I'm honestly just not concerned about the price, to be honest with you. I'm just really excited about this headset. Scott Thorpe donated with Super Chat. Thank you so much, man. Says, if Sony won't take my money today, you can, but only if you spend it on all the games. So relieved to have locked in like everyone else. Resi 8, No Man's Sky, Gran Turismo 7, Horizon, Firewall, man. I didn't even talk about Firewall. Thank you so much, Scott Thorpe. Appreciate you, dude. Let this man have your money, Sony. What are you doing? Take this man's money, for Christ's sake. Yeah, we didn't even talk about Firewall somehow. Obviously, we don't have a date on it. It's on the store. So to me, it does seem like a 2023 title. But maybe it's more summer or holiday 2023 title versus being like obviously not going to be at launch. It doesn't seem like it's going to be a launch title, but I kind of figured that for a while now. But it's nice that we've seen some footage of it, and what we've seen looks really good. It's they're bringing the old stuff, but they're adding new stuff to it too, which is great because all the maps and everything in Firewall were fantastic. And yeah, talk about important first person shooters to have. Yeah, that was I think easily I would say Firewall 0 Hour was the best first person shooter on PlayStation VR. It's kind of a toss up. There's that. There's Farpoint. Man, I would love a Farpoint too. I saw somebody talking about Farpoint. Interestingly enough, Upload actually has. This is back from Jamie Feltham days. Upload VR has a rumored and confirmed games here that I'll bring up in a second, and one of those this is what I find actually pretty interesting. Um, One of those is, in fact, oh my God, there's a lot of games here. We didn't talk about Zenith. Oh man, Zenith with the upgrades is going to be amazing. I mean, we're kicking off launch with a full open world, massive open world action RPG. That's pretty sweet. And then the visual enhancements coming to Zenith as well look amazing. Huge, big texture overhaul, and then they're taking a page out of No Man's Sky's book and adding pets, which is pretty sweet. But let's see here. One of the rumored games from this upload thing is actually let's see, is this bringing up here? Yep, is Farpoint 2. And they said, this is from Jamie Feltham when he was still there. It says, Farpoint became one of PSVR's most popular shooters thanks to its reliance on the excellent rifle-shaped aim controller. That's right. The game had a full single-player campaign and a fun, if limited, multiplayer options. Fun, if limited, multiplayer option. I didn't think the multiplayer was pretty limited, actually. The co-op was, I spent dozens of hours in the co-op, but anyways, I digress. Sending players to an alien world to fight like spider-like monsters. Developer Impulse Gear recently put out another great shooter named Larcenauts. They're the only person I've ever heard call Larcenauts another great shooter. I have not heard anyone else call it that, but I won't judge because I haven't played it. Around that time, we asked the studio's Greg Corman about a possible return to the series. He told us, "We definitely don't have anything to announce at the moment, but that is our roots, and we're happy. We're very happy with what we did on Farpoint." And I think that you look at the game and that universe, and there's absolutely a lot more to explore there. And he says, "Yep, it sounds like a sequel is very possibly one of the upcoming PSVR2 games." I don't know how much I buy that. If somebody says we definitely don't have anything to announce at this time, to me, what makes me kind of give that a little bit of the benefit of the doubt is that they hung out with Impulse Gear in person. They maybe had this conversation with them behind closed doors, and maybe we're given some hints. I think they were maybe given some hints because what he's going off of, what he says right there, does not say anything to me about that confirms or even hints at a rumor. What I think is that they've spoken behind doors, and either Jamie got the vibe or something from them that made him feel pretty confident to put it up there, but unless he just wanted to start that rumor himself. But a Farpoint 2 would be absolutely incredible. I mean, I talk about another game that's one of my favorites. That would be an absolutely incredible game. I still think Farpoint is really underrated. I think it gets a little bit of hate because it is kind of more of a linear shooter, but I don't think that was enough to discredit everything that it did when there was nothing that came before it that showed it. Like, there was no blueprints for what Farpoint did. They took a concept and they made a game out of it, and it was extremely cinematic. The story was absolutely goddamn wonderful, and then of course the content with like the co-op stuff was fantastic. So I think it'd be amazing to have a sequel for that. But I'm not going to hold my breath. That would really depend on if thank you, Stephen Price. If they have another deal with Sony or something, but I don't know. Did anybody play Larcenauts? Did anybody like Larcenauts? Because I saw it and it looked kind of like a cheap Overwatch clone or something for VR, which I don't know. Impulse Gear is just so talented with what they did with Farpoint. I don't want to see anything less. I mean, that's a high bar to set. It's a little unfair to be like, if it's not Farpoint 2, then I don't give a shit. But hey, you set that bar. That's not our fault. You fucking set that bar. So that's your fault. Let's see here. Let's see if we missed any other games coming. So After the Fall is getting a free update. That was on the store. I guess it's gone now. I didn't see that in the PlayStation 5 section on the store, so a little bit of inconsistency there. Swordsman has been announced as an official launch title, and yeah, we don't know if it's going to be a free upgrade or not. There's a game called Runner VR by Truant Pixel that I actually just streamed the other day, and it's a blast. I highly recommend checking that out. But if we're going back to the launch, I think the ones I'm most excited about come launch time are going to be, I think I'm going to dive into Horizon first. I'll be probably playing Horizon first. And let's see here. PSVR2. I love that there's a PSVR2 section now. Definitely be kicking things off with Horizon just because that's the first party title. It's built for PlayStation VR2 specifically. It's an exclusive. So I'll be excited to check that one out and really want to take my time with it, really soak up the world, soak up the environment, soak up the gameplay, everything it has to offer. I want to see. I've got high hopes for this one because it's Fire Sprite. Walking Dead, of course, Saints and Sinners Chapter 2. I wonder if they're gonna if lightning strikes twice and they can make another game just full of surprises, full of just amazing immersive gameplay. And then of course, yeah, some stuff's missing here, but let's see. And then of course Resident Evil Village. But it doesn't just stop there. I mean, Resident Evil Village is a huge one for me. I've been anticipating. It doesn't just stop there, of course. Switchback is there as well. So I mean, when it comes to like next gen games, I will have at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with No Man's Sky. I will have 5 games that are going to feel next gen at launch for me personally. And then I'm really excited to check out some of these other games as well. I'm excited to dive into Demeo because, like I said, I loved it I like it on the Quest a lot. There's No Man's Sky there, so yeah, Switchback is absolutely day one. A lot of these are going to be, well, they're all pretty much going to be day one, but Looper, the underground game cat elite name squad in the house, says a lot of games not listed here. Village, No Man's Sky, Zenith, Pistol Whip. Yeah, Pistol Whip is one that we missed, but yeah, man, happy PSVR2 pre-order day. Super exciting. One last time, if you haven't registered, make sure you register in any of the links down below. Keep an eye out for an email. If you don't get an email, it's okay. There's still time. There will be more opportunities. Follow me on Twitter at PSVR Underground. Follow Wario64, who's probably way better for that. Follow Cheap Ass Gamer, and just be alert. Have those alerts on. And it'll help you secure one. You will, I promise you, there will be enough. It was funny, when pre-ordering, they even had a message that said, don't worry, there's plenty available. So I don't think it's, I don't think it's an availability thing right now with PSVR. I think they're just doing kind of like a staggered pre-order, is what they're doing. I think it's part of their plan. Maybe they're trying to artificially create some demand. Who knows what they're trying to do. But I think at some point we'll get maybe an open pre-order closer to launch with an actual kind of like, I'd imagine there's some kind of showcase or something at some point to coincide with the launch. But pretty cool, man. How excited are you guys for this? You excited as I am? I know that's a high place to be in terms of excitement, but I'm fucking stoked, man. I am so freaking excited for this thing. Mark Doust, AJ, do you think the new cable length will be long enough for a cable management pulley system? Probably. It's supposed to be about 15 feet. If it's about 15 feet, it should be, because I think people had a pulley system with the PSVR 1, and I think that was like, what, 12 feet, something like that. So there should be. Oh yes, look at the hype levels maximum. Yeah, old Darth, we'll get some more first party announcements. Remember, they've got a bunch of stuff behind going on behind the works, and Sony's, if they're good at protecting anything leaks wise, has been recently anyways, has been a little bit more of their first party stuff. But Do you think they'll have a wireless adapter later? No, I think Bremen. I think they will release. I don't think it'll be an adapter, but I do think that they will eventually release either a V2 model, and then maybe even in the future a wireless model. I could totally see them releasing a wireless model once the tech becomes a little bit less expensive. You've seen like with the Meta Quest Pro, that thing has a lot of good mobile tech in it, but it's also $1,500. So, even cutting a lot of the costs, like being wired and a lot of stuff, the PSVR2 still came out to about $550. So, it's going to take some time for this stuff to get a little bit cheaper, but I think it's on the right path. The great Sean Layden once said, everybody wants VR 5.0 right now, but they're going to have to be patient. They're going to have to let VR 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, 4.0 run its course, let the tech evolve with tons of, players, feedback, testing, all sorts of stuff, developer input, sorts of things like that. Old Dart says, I don't know, AJ, the cable is detachable. Making V1 buyers have to buy another headset is not good business. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I just don't think it's got, I don't think it'll have an adapter, but who knows? I mean, there certainly could be some kind of, some kind of tech. David Berger says the Quest Pro battery is trash. Yeah, the Quest battery life does suck really bad. I like to play I like to play like all day long, and that is not wireless friendly at the moment. I mean, there are like, luckily there's accessories and stuff you can do, but with PSVR 2 around the corner, I'm not interested in investing all that into the Quest 2. And once PSVR 2 comes out, I'm probably not touching that thing almost ever again. But it's been a nice stopgap for me. It's been nice to be able to preview some games that are coming to PSVR 2. Put the wire behind your back and you're fine. Yeah, I always play with the wire behind my back, for sure. And I always play with a fan as well. Dan Kiefer asks, big screen. Yeah, I don't know. I'm hoping Sony has their own solution for that, but an application like big screen would be really nice. Let's see here. Anything else you guys want to discuss before we get out of here, man? I mean, this is super exciting. I'm excited. I hope you're excited. I know you are. And congrats to everybody who got their pre-order secured. I ran a poll. Let's see where this poll is at. I ran a poll on Twitter to see if more people got the Horizon bundle or if they got the plain bundle. And let's see. Looks like most people, 54%, have gotten the Horizon. Out of 257 voters, 54.1% have gotten the Horizon bundle, and 33.9% got the standard bundle. There's obviously a little bit of a gap there because I've got a results thing so that people don't have to skew the results to be able to see them, with 12%. But so it looks like 20% more people went for the Horizon VR bundle. I'm guessing because it saves you $10. The $10 thing is a big deal to a lot of people. I'm just so glad Horizon Call of the Mountain isn't $70 because that is not a price I am or will be ready to pay, or will certainly not happily pay for PSVR games, knowing that they're likely a little bit shorter, a little bit less in content. If they're equal to that, I mean, people don't even like the $70 price point for flat games. So having that there's really no excuse for having that for VR games. So really glad it's only $60, which is a little bit more reasonable, I think. I mean, that's kind of the full-length game from last gen. We'll see what happens. Hopefully, like I said, it's got plenty of content. TCM of Games Official, good to see you, man. Happy PSVR 2 day to you as well. Yeah, man, all of our friends up in Canada, I'm hearing really good things about Best Buy being a great place to pre-order. So check out Best Buy in Canada. as well as I think Walmart.com had some stuff. I saw there's pre-orders for Amazon Canada. There's some placeholders and stuff for pre-orders. So, yeah, in the description, I don't remember what all links I have in the description. I've got enough for. I've got the U.S. link, UK, Germany, France, Netherlands, Luxembourg, Dutch, and that is all the links I have at this time. Other retailers are like I said, in Canada especially, it's like Best Buy and Walmart and stuff. But yeah, man, oh, happy times. Super exciting. 99 days, guys. 99 days. We will be receiving and unboxing and playing our PSVR 2s. And I'm here for it, baby. I'm here for it. Like, let's do this, man. Man, super excited. Super excited. Well, guys, I think 99 long days. Awesome, Tatum. You know how long we've been waiting, man? We got this. 99 days ain't shit. I bought a PlayStation 5 at launch 2 years ago for this thing. I can wait another 99 days. Oh, it has been a long time. It has been a very, very long time. But, man, I think, you know, and another thing to keep in mind is the launch is just the beginning. That's launch, man. I mean, a system, a console, a PlayStation console, a system, whatever, typically doesn't even start hitting full stride until like a year or two in. Imagine what that's going to be. Imagine, you know, a year or two into PSVR, what it's going to look like. It's probably going to be pretty epic, I'd have to imagine. You know, with PSVR 1, 2 years in is when we got Firewall, Beat Saber, Astrobot, Tetris Effect, Moss Book 1, and I know I'm missing a thing or two, but we got some good stuff. We actually even got some good stuff in the first year of PSVR, but it's pretty good, pretty okay. Maybe not take the world by storm, but I do think that for those of us that are getting the headset, I do think there's a fairly good amount of launch titles here. Like, you know, especially if Resident Evil Village is one, Resi Village, Switchback, Horizon, No Man's Sky. That's some good stuff to keep us occupied for a little bit. And, you know, I'm just hoping that once launch comes or near launch, they give us kind of a roadmap. We need a bit of a roadmap for PSVR 2. We need to know what to expect at launch, but I want stuff to look forward to as well. Well, I guess one of those things could be Resident Evil 4. They've announced that there is content in development for Resident Evil 4. We don't know the extent of what that content is, but I'm really, fingers crossed, really hoping it's the full game, because I played through all of Resident Evil 4 on the Quest, and it was great. Like, I've never really been the biggest fan of Resident Evil 4 until I played it on Quest in VR, and I was like, I get it now. This game is a lot of fun. It's not really like the best horror game, but it's got really good horror elements. It's got a great tone, and it's got like a fun adventure to it. But it's definitely not as scary as Resident Evil 7. Old Dart says, and RE7 upgrade too. Man, I want Capcom to single-handedly save VR and just port every single Resident Evil game to VR. Like, I've been a little obsessed with Resident Evil lately. I don't know why. But I think it was maybe after playing Resident Evil 4, got me kind of excited all about it again. Shades of Grey Matter says, 100% agree, AJ. Sony needs to start laying out their future support of PSVR 2. Too many people saying it's DOA and we'll get... I don't think so, man. I think there's a different strategy. You know, the difference is the Vita was designed to be a Nintendo DS competitor and was supposed to sell like 100,000 units. I don't think their game plan is to sell 100,000 PSVR 2s, but I think the game plan is definitely to grow some to some degree. Personally, what I'd like to see is I would love to see PSVR2 at the end of its life cycle. I'm talking 5-6 years from now, having sold 20, 30 million. I don't know what their projection looks like. But I would love to see the headset actually get up there. I think it's going to be a little bit of time before it gets up there, but I think we're on the right path. I think the tech is evolving, the games are evolving, the ideology behind it is evolving in the right ways. And I think there's a lot to be excited about and to look forward to. Oh man. Well guys, I hate to cut it short. I could sit here and just hang out all day with y'all. But man, I just, thank you for taking the time to hang out with me for a little bit, talk some PSVR 2, talk some games to look forward to, some features to look forward to. Congrats to everybody who secured their PSVR 2. Let's fucking go, baby. And like I said, if you haven't yet, hang in there. I'm sure you'll get one if you keep at it. Don't give up. Do not give up. I said the same thing a week ago, and now a bunch more people got their emails. So just give it some time. They're going to stagger this. But happy PSVR 2 pre-order day, guys. I love you all. Thank you so much, man, for coming to hang out and share your thoughts. And, just anything you want to talk about, just hit me up, man. Let's talk PSVR 2, baby. Woo, 99 days, man. I'm so excited. Let's go, guys. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day. And, yeah, man, I will be seeing you again very, very soon. Let's go. Super fun times. Y'all have a wonderful rest of the day.